Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Summary. I'm your host, Kyle. With me, as always, is Steve. We got a lot to get into today on the transfer front, so let's get started. Alexis MAc Allister, the deal is almost complete, and also links emerging this week include MAnu Kone of Borussia Mönchengladbach, and also Kephran Thuram of Nice. Steve, good morning. How are you feeling about all of these transfer links over the past week?
I thought you'd never ask. You jumped right into the transfer stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you for asking. I'm doing well. I watched the final yesterday, the FA Cup final. Unfortunately, the outcome is what I wanted. I hate to root for City, but correct me if I'm wrong. If United won that yesterday, then they would have had the same success we had last season, trophy-wise. Because
Yeah.
didn't they win the other cup?
Yeah. Wow. That's
Put that into perspective.
It's a little sad
Yes.
when you put it that way.
Yes, it is sad. But the links, they're legit for these other guys. MAc Allister, that deal, like you said, and we talked about it last week. I honestly don't know what's taken so long. This is not a complex deal by any means. It's Alexis MAc Allister. We're not trying to get Mbappe. Like, let's just get that done and move on, please. But yeah,
Pretty
I'm
much
excited to dive
complete.
into the other links.
Yeah. MAnu Kone is the big one that I'm actually excited about. Kephran Thuram emerged first. And both of them are about on the same level in the sense that it's said that Liverpool have met with their agents and are looking to begin negotiations with both of them. Alexis MAc Allister, you're right. Let's get it over the line. Let's announce them. Bing, bada, boom. That'll be great. I want to know your thoughts on if these three players happen to be the players we sign. How do you feel about that transfer window? Would that be a successful transfer window? Or
I
would you be
mean,
satisfied?
satisfied with midfield, sure. They're all midfielders. So I think what we need is bodies. Guys that are not old, guys that have legs. I think MAc Allister checks a lot of the boxes. That's a good start. I also don't think, I mean, great question. I get what you're asking, but I also don't think we're going to get all three of them. There's obviously going to be other links, other people that will come to the forefront. We've been linked with a lot of other people. You got people like Tielemans available on a free. I saw a link to Kimmich.
I did see that as well.
I mean, he is their captain as far as I know. It's going to be tough to get him out of there, but he is getting older. Bayern may look to cash in. I know he's been linked with Barca. That's legit. Xavi's interested in him. So there's plenty of options out there. Let's get MAc Allister done. I'd be happy with either of these guys as a squad player. I don't think they're breaking into the first 11. But
No, of the three, I think Alexis MAc Allister holds the greatest chance of breaking into the starting 11.
yes, I'm talking about the other two.
Yeah, I think MAnu Kone for me is the most exciting. And I don't know if it's just because I follow Gladbach a little bit. Like I keep up with Gladbach. They have a lot of good talent. And I think Kone's just an exciting young talent for me, dude. I'd like to see a player like that come through the team and really work to get a starting spot. You know what I mean?
I think it would be a quality signing, but I just don't really know what to expect. I thought Carvalho was a quality signing.
I still think he's a quality
You
signing.
know, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I know MAc Allister will play. He will start many, many games. And I think if we're signing midfielders at this point, it's to play them. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of these guys. But you're right, it is exciting. I just, to be frank, I don't have the sample size. I haven't seen enough of either to be overly excited.
Agreed. I want to say good morning to everyone in the chat. My mom, Oyvind, Liz, Tom Smith. Good to see you, Tom. Doug in here. Shout out to you guys. Ian Richard as well. Am I missing anyone so far? I don't believe so. Good morning to everyone. Slap a like on the video if you're enjoying it. Big fan of everyone being here. Now, and of course, let us know what you think throughout the show in the comment section. So this is the
Shout out to
article.
Doug, by the way.
Doug. Yeah.
Doug, we've needed you. There's been a couple times over the course of the last couple summaries where I'm like, Doug, where are you, Doug? Because we know you have all the knowledge.
We've needed some really important stats. I'm like, man, I wish Doug was here. So shout out to Doug.
Now, Doug, do you have your own database that you use? Like your own custom coded, developed API database? I feel like he just knows where to find everything.
I just feel like Doug must be one of those people where he reads something once and remembers it. You know what I mean? Especially about Liverpool. So this is the David O'Connell update on Alexis MAc Allister for you guys. Liverpool hope to complete the deal for MAc Allister next week, and this is according to Fabrizio Romano. So basically, we're all following Fabrizio Romano on this one. It's kind of crazy that this, like, hell, I could be a world-renowned journalist if this is all it takes. He's literally reporting that on Fabrizio Romano. That's it.
Yeah, it's insane. And by the way, you're right. It is very simple. When you find a guy you can trust, you literally just turn on notifications and then just repost their stuff. Yep. But imagine being Fabrizio, because like he receives all this information from sources of his.
Yep.
So his phone, he works around the clock.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He never sleeps.
Nope.
Imagine being like James Pierce for 1,000 football clubs.
It's kind of insane when you think about it.
He must have a pretty big team. Legends behind the scenes that don't get any credit.
Yeah, and I think he probably runs his Twitter, but he's got to have people putting up some info, because when it's transfer window time, especially when it comes down to like deadline day, he's tweeting every second. Every minute he's got a new tweet up. Like, there's no way he's doing that. Like, he's got to have people getting access to the Twitter.
I mean, there probably are some people that have access to it, but like that's why he's who he is, because he's just on around the clock. Yes, I don't think he does all of them, but like that's his job, is to be on his phone, like around the clock. That's his career.
Must be nice.
I would hate it.
I mean, how does he make money? How does a guy like that make money?
He gets paid to do interviews. I don't think he's an independent contractor. I would imagine he works for someone. He has partnerships, social media.
That's true. He has his own YouTube channel, all that stuff. Yeah, very true.
Yeah, but I don't know.
So let's dive into this MAnu Kone one. This is the one that excites me. And then I also want to look at some statistical comparisons with Kone and Kephran Thuram. We've done Kephran Thuram before, and it's actually turned out that Kephran Thuram is pretty solid statistically. But let's read this out here. Liverpool have been told the price they must pay to land Borussia Mönchengladbach midfielder MAnu Kone. Now, this price is actually pretty insane, Steve. Jurgen Klopp is in dire need of midfield rejuvenation after an underwhelming season in Merseyside, which has seen the Reds miss out on Champions League qualification for the first time since 2016. Wow. Meanwhile, the departures of James freaking Milner, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, and Artur Melo has left Klopp scraping the barrel for alternatives. They could have left Artur Melo out there. How the hell did they forget Bobby Firmino? As a result, the Reds are tipped for a major overhaul to their squad, with the likes of Alexis MAc Allister expected to join the club this summer after the deal was described as 99% done. And then it goes on to say
they're just listing the midfielders
Kone emerging as a potential target. Now, the asking price for Kone here. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted that the available price is 35 to 40 million euros or 30 to 34 million pounds. And Gladbach prepared to let him leave for that fee. How do you feel about that price point, Steve?
That's exactly what we pay. That's right in our range. That's actually been our range for like 8 years. Our range has not increased. Our like typical range has not increased with the market.
No.
So, no, I mean that makes sense. I'm fine with that. It's a great signing. I mean, I'm assuming you agree.
Yeah, for that
It's
price,
what we need for a
unbelievable
solid
signing.
price.
The thing that I think they took a huge risk with Naby Keita at the price. We knew Naby Keita was great. Everybody was excited at the time. But they took a huge risk in that price of 50 to 60 million. Turned out to be a waste of money. So I believe they're going to go with the lower price points for these players. Maybe that's why they didn't want to sign a midfielder, quote unquote, Jude Bellingham, for 80 plus million, because they didn't want to take on that risk again.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Right.
And we talked about that. They didn't want to put all their eggs in one basket. And honestly, like the Bellingham thing, if he goes to Real Madrid for that 86
Oh, he's going.
4 add-ons or whatever it is that
Yeah.
it's not official yet, right?
No, but he's going.
Right.
Sad,
If
but he's going.
if the initial price is 86 and then we get Mac Allister, which I'm hearing lately could be below 60. But if Mac Allister is closer to 70, that's the only time I'll still be upset about the Bellingham thing.
That's another thing I saw is that the initial reported 60 to 70 million for Mac Allister, it's going to be nowhere near that. It's going to be much lower.
Because of a clause that we're
I'm not sure if it's a clause or if it's more just that's not the price.
I think that we're activating some sort of clause. Doug will know. But
Yeah.
my latest assumption is high 50s, close to 60 or 60.
Makes sense. Brighton are about to cash out because Moises Caicedo's likely on his way to Chelsea. Don't get me started on Chelsea. Please stop me if we start to talk about Chelsea again.
Actually, we can because they just got linked with.
Who else are they getting linked with, dude? I saw it. I know who it is.
It's a huge name, dude.
Yeah. God, who is it?
There was the Neymar links.
Neymar and City.
That
all
was
stuff.
Yeah. No, this is different.
Paquito, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Chelsea.
Legend.
It's like they were looking to bid 150 million for Vinicius Jr. That's what it was.
What?
That's just the link. I don't know if that's real. It's a rumor.
That just made me so angry. Just hearing that. Unbelievable.
Are they ever going to get in trouble?
All right, so I'm glad you bring it up. Earlier this week, Tifo Football had a great video. Quick video if you guys want to go watch it. It's about 7 minutes. It says, how did Chelsea single-handedly change the transfer market? All right, maintain financial fair play. So here's the deal. So Chelsea, over the last year, have signed 9 players or something like that. So how they maintain financial fair play, I can't remember the exact term they used, but they're signing players for longer contracts. So there's a loophole where you divvy up the fee or the cost of the player instead of over 5 years, 4 years, 5 years, you divvy it up to 7, 8, 9. So you have players like Enzo Fernandez who has a contract going to 2029. All right, so that's a 6 or 7 year deal instead of the normal 5-year deal. So they stay under the cap, the quote unquote cap for these players, and that's how they manage to remain in financial fair play. On top of that, they're probably going to sell a lot of players this summer. So it's kind of insane how they do it. And a lot of teams are using, I think the term either begins with an A or a T. But anyways, a lot more teams are trying to do that. You look at teams like Athletic Club. Athletic Club are very known for this. They give players 8, 9-year contracts. It's just an easier way to stay within financial fair play regulations. Now, we all know financial fair play is a joke. All right. But that's how Chelsea did it this summer with the likes of Mudryk over 100 million and Enzo Fernandez over 100 million. It's just insane. So what they had to do, they had to extend the contracts. So over the life of the deal, they're spending less. And that allows them to recoup more revenue through the club and maintain the financial fair play balance. So,
Well, that's fine. Yeah, I knew that they were working with loopholes. Also, there's something to be said for the major like sales that they're gonna have coming up. You have a window, right? It's not like immediate.
yeah.
Like you have a time to
It's
balance the
with
scales.
it's yes, you're absolutely right. They mentioned this in the video as well. I think it's 1 year. 1 year from the purchase, you have to make the books balance. And that's why extending the contract helps with that.
Right. And they have a Cuckoo coming in.
I believe so. I think
Yeah,
that's
that was a
still on.
delayed deal.
Yep.
One thing to shout out. Mudryk. Mikhailo? Is that his name? First name?
I have no idea.
Guess how many goals he has?
1.
For Chelsea in the league, 0. Guess how many goals he has in his whole career?
6.
9.
How old is he? Like 20?
I don't know. But gosh, just
Ooh.
this is what keeps me sane. Is looking at deals like this. It's what keeps me sane. I don't. You know what? We want to spend 60 mil on Mac Allister, whatever it is. Go for it. At least we're not spending 100 for a guy that has 9 career goals
It's just
or
stupid business.
whatever it is. Like there may be some other comps that I'm not looking at here, but
It's just absolutely stupid business. Stupid business.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. I'm gonna find my guy here. Kone. Absolute legend. Let me pull him up here. FB Ref, dude. It's like my favorite website.
It can be hard to navigate.
It's definitely it has an older look. It's not updated. The user interface is kind of tough, but once you figure out how it works, it's pretty easy to use. This guy Kone, bro. All right, he is on. What's he on? 6. Let's just call it 7,000 euros a week.
Just makes no sense.
7,000 euros a week. All right, come on. I hit
And he's
scouting report.
22.
Yeah, he's really young. Born in 2001. How about that? Come on, man. Give me my scouting report. Okay, so similar players. Whew. Dude, wow. Moises Caicedo is a similar player. Rodrigo Bentancur and Verratti is really the only impressive one on that list. He doesn't stack up very well to similar players. I will say that. Looks like attacking wise, he's not an attacking midfielder, which is completely fine. He looks like more of a box to box dribbling midfielder. Successful take ons 1.97 per 90, 96th percentile for him. And progressive passes 66th percentile. So the statistics aren't jumping off the page, Steve. However, tackles and blocks per 90 in the upper percentiles as well.
Well,
Thoughts?
what's his claim to fame?
For me, I just
Like,
think
what's he known for?
He's a young, promising talent. I think he's known for possession retention.
Like a genie?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Keep the
Because
ball.
statistically, if we look at his goals and everything, 30 matches played, 1 goals, 1 assist. His expected goals 1.2, non-expected goals 1.2, 1.3. So I don't know. He just seems like an average midfielder to me, but he's young.
Definitely more so defensive. Like I said, I haven't seen this guy play very much.
Yeah, no, just the highlights.
I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Let us know in the chat.
Yeah,
What
do
are
you
we
guys
getting with
think?
this guy?
Public sector direct. What's going on? Justin Samuel says we need Lucas Paqueta. He's pretty solid, but he just got to West Ham. He ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
I also think
Hammer Tot.
McAllister is a
Thank
very
you,
similar player.
Liz. I love you. I knew it started with an A. Chelsea amortize the contracts, but the rules have now changed to 5 years max. Yes. So, yes, now the video's coming back to me. So, UEFA realized that clubs were doing this. They were signing longer term contracts to expose this loophole. So, they are now making it a requirement that 5 years max is the max deal you can do, which is good, Steve. This kind of sounds like they're moving towards the cap, which is needed.
I mean, screw the cap. I want to see punishments first.
Yeah, very true.
What are we doing here with City?
Yeah, I know. What is that about? When
And
are
then
they?
but Juve got in trouble. Barca's under all sorts of stuff. It's like City just disappears.
No, but even Barca and all these other clubs, there's no penalty. Like Juventus just got a points deduction. What about like you're not allowed to play in Europe for 5 years?
Yeah. I mean, at least Juventus got something though. Something happened. Like they didn't just let it go. And I know people said, when this first came out, there's over 100 charges. When this first came out, we all knew it was going to take a while. I'm just starting to get impatient because I haven't heard anything. Like, can I get an update from someone? I'm sure I could go find one. I want an update to find me, Kyle. I don't want to go looking for an update. Somebody send me something.
Liz says the board of 3 has been chosen for the Chidi saga. What the board of 3?
I must be missing something there. But like seeing them hoist the trophy yesterday, I'm just like, man, like, did they cheat to get this? Like, is this
Probably.
is this tainted?
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking.
But like,
now I'm not saying
should they even been allowed to play in that game?
I don't know. We don't know enough yet, but I just honestly feel like there's no accountability. There's none. Like it's almost as if UEFA are scared to act or the FA are scared to act, whatever the case may be. No one wants to do anything because everyone's got their hand in the pot. Everyone's benefiting from how well City are doing. So it's like they don't want to disrupt it. I don't know. It's all about money at the end of the day, man.
Do you think there's more money for anyone if City wins other than City? Do you think it's
Yeah.
better for the world if City wins stuff rather than
Morally,
Liverpool,
no,
United?
but everyone's making money, dude. UEFA's making money off of the fact that people are tuning in to watch Holland. People are tuning in to watch specific players. City have a star-studded lineup. Pep Guardiola is the coach. They're one of the best teams in the world, if not the best team in the world at the moment. Everyone's making money off of them. When people are making money off of someone, it's hard to discipline them. It's unethical, but that's just how the world works.
I don't think they're making any more money because it's City compared to other bigger clubs
Well, no.
with more
It doesn't
history.
matter who it is. My point is, it doesn't matter who it is. It could be Bayern Munich. It could be Aston Villa. If a team has Holland and they're winning, it's hard to discipline them.
But just remove them from the equation. By default, there will be another winner. So, like, what I'm saying is, I don't think City's benefiting anybody. Because, yeah, Holland's a great player, but they don't have a massive fan base. So, more people are still going to watch Liverpool than Man City. More people are still going to watch United, probably even Juventus, Bayern, things like that. Like, there's a winner regardless. There's stars on every team. I just don't think that's the reason why nothing has happened, because of the money and like what how Man City benefits UEFA. I don't think that's it.
The point I'm trying to make is when there's multiple parties involved in something and it's making money, it's hard to discipline them because then people lose. Like, people lose money. I think that's not the only reason. I also just think they're not competent. I think UEFA is not a competent governing body. Like, I don't think there's enough. I really, it just comes down to accountability. I don't think people are holding teams accountable, and there's not enough governing power over these clubs. They have too much power. That's it. That's all I think there is. And there's not enough rules in place. Like, teams keep finding loopholes, and they have to keep updating it. So, what wouldn't happen if there was a cap?
Oh, I know. Literally like a damn credit card limit. Like, if you hit your limit, your card will be declined.
It's not that difficult. Like, I really don't think it's that difficult to just give a team a limit based on their revenue. Like, now the financial fair play is you can only spend in proportion to what you bring in. That's fine. But then there's all these loopholes, extending the length of the contracts. You can report, like, the way that you report revenue versus report outgoing. Like, there's all these loopholes. Just give everybody a cap. You cannot go over this.
Who's charging them again? Is it UEFA?
I love how you say UEFA.
UEFA, or
I
the
think
FA, or is it everybody?
it's got to be everybody.
Well,
For
it's
the
with
amount,
like a judge now. I think it's in legal stuff.
it better be.
I'm sorry we're talking about this. I felt like it was due
It's
to be touched on.
No, it needs to be.
Since they won a trophy yesterday, and they're probably going to win another one next week. I'm just like, man, are these legit?
It bothers me.
Are these legit? Now, not to mention that 2020 they were banned for 2 seasons from European competition, and then that was overturned. City.
Oh, that's right. Oh, didn't they have all their lawyers?
Yeah, then it was just overturned.
It's just that's what I'm talking about.
How do you overturn that ruling? First of all, the only way that ruling can be overturned, because it's not like he said, she said. It's either a fact and they did it and you banned them. You gave them the punishment. It's like being sentenced to prison and then just getting out right away. Like, somebody messed up on the front end. You don't make a mistake like that. Again, this isn't he said, she said. This isn't beyond a reasonable doubt. No, there's facts here, which is why they got the ban in the first place. So what happened to those facts? Tell me.
Steve, not everyone's judicial system is like ours. You know what I mean? Like,
these aren't third world countries.
I'm just
without
saying.
Administration.
No, you're right. Steve, you're absolutely right. I'm just saying it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. So in here, if you're convicted, you have the right to appeal, but you're still in jail. You're still in jail. You're not free. All right. Maybe when you wait for your court hearing, you're out on bail, whatever. But this was like overturned. That wouldn't happen. You'd have to appeal and go all the way to the Supreme Court. You know what I mean?
And it would take forever.
Yeah, it would take forever.
By the time you got there, your sentence would be over.
Exactly.
Maybe not. That's an exaggeration. It wouldn't take forever, but
the fact of the matter is that a decision would be made. You would be found guilty or not guilty. Okay. And you would serve the sentence associated with that conviction. You have every right to appeal. That's completely fine. But that doesn't change the fact that you're still convicted at that time. So you're still in jail. Like City, if they, like you said, if they were banned for 2 years, they should be banned for 2 years.
Yeah, like that. Exactly. But the thing was, it went to, I'm reading it here now. It's all coming back to me. It went to arbitration court. Court of Arbitration for Sports, CAS is the acronym. Ban was overturned. Fine was reduced to 10 million.
10 million.
So they saved 20 million on the fine. The panel at the hearing, the panel found most of the breaches were not established at the time. Or the time was barred, which means they happened too long ago for UEFA to do anything about them. So why did they get it in the first place? Why did they get the ban in the first place?
Yeah. So all right. Yeah.
Who didn't know this?
It's almost like both sides are corrupt, because if it turns out that there was a quote unquote statute of limitations where they couldn't be charged because it was too long ago, how did they bring the charges in the first place? It's like both sides are turning a blind eye.
Dude, I feel like somebody was like, yo, UEFA, something happened. And they were like, all right, 2 years, 30 mil.
Yeah, that's literally.
Let's hope nobody asks us any questions.
Exactly.
But the Premier League stuff, there is no time. We talked about this too. Sorry. There is no time limit or period or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's not an excuse.
It blows my mind how much corruption is in the game right now.
It's so brutal, man. It's so brutal. Let me just say this. It's not like that in other sports. It's just not.
Liz Golden, thank you for the super chat, saying UEFA is corrupt as you know what. Yes.
She's absolutely right. Thank you,
She's
Liz.
absolutely right. I also think, bear with me on this, but I think this is pretty accurate. If you look within a country, each country has their own governing body. It's a little bit different. It's harder to be corrupt when you have one overseeing governing body for one country. UEFA has to deal with tons of countries. And maybe that's how these teams get around it. There's different rules in each country, and UEFA has only so much power over the actual government of that country. And so I feel like that's where it gets a little bit sticky. You have UEFA trying to govern all of these different countries, not different teams in each country, but countries with their own laws and their own rules. And that's how certain teams get around it. It's not uniform to every team in the world. It should be, but it's only uniform to each team in a certain competition, let's say. But isn't it weird when you think about it that way? It's not like FA governing all of the English teams. They're all in England and, whatever, or the Premier League, whatever. Not even the Premier League, just all the teams in England. But then you look at UEFA trying to govern teams from frickin' Croatia and France and England. It gets a little sticky.
I just feel like if you're partnered with UEFA and you're in their competitions, the rules are the same across the board. And I think that's the case. I think it's like a partnership, like a club almost.
Yeah.
You join UEFA, right?
Liz says UEFA has 55 national associations. So it seems like you can't like, for example, I don't think the MLS is part of UEFA. Like, none of those teams are part of UEFA yet. They have to join UEFA in order to be eligible for like Champions League. And then I'm assuming they'd be governed by the same rules.
That's going to come.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's just really, really tough for because the Champions League is Europe.
Yeah, well,
the Europa League's Europe. Well, they wouldn't be in that. So what would they join for?
Well, they're changing the format of it. And I don't know if it's next season or the season after. I think it's the season after. But it's no longer going to be group stage. It's going to be 10 games. You play 10 games against random teams, and the teams with the most points advance. It's kind of crazy.
Right, but are they letting North America in there?
There's talks of it in the future of like different teams from all over the world being included in it. That's going to be tough to do. That's going to be really tough to do.
That's crazy travel. Like California to just England alone is like 11 hours flight.
Yeah.
11 or 12. And then going even farther across Europe, it's 15 hour. You're looking at 15-hour flights.
Yeah,
doesn't work.
It doesn't. UEFA. Oh man. Tom says the FA governs all football in the UK. That's what I thought. Because
it's an acronym. It can be said however, by the way. There's no proper way to say an accurate acronym.
You're absolutely right.
Thank you.
It's like economics versus economics. Presentation. All those aren't acronyms. Those are words. Same thing though. Yeah, FA governs all football in the UK, even Sunday League. No, I agree. That's why it's called the FA Cup, and a bunch of different teams play in it. The FA Cup is all the way from League Two, right? Like a League Two team can make it to the FA Cup final.
Mm-hmm.
So, man. Now, real quick, I just want to take a look at Kephran Thuram's stats. I know we went on a little bit of a tangent there, but that's why the Sunday summary is so great, and that's why you guys need to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and like the stream, because we don't hold back. All right. Kephran Thuram. Yo, he looks like Leroy Sané a little bit in this picture.
Cam Reddish.
Oh, that's it. Cam Reddish, thank you. God, Steve, this is why I keep you around. That is Cam Reddish to a T. All right, League One, 2 goals, 4 assists. Assists above expected assists. Actually, no, it's not. Never mind. It's below. But 35 matches played, 2 goals, 4 assists. In the Conference League, 10 matches played, 3 assists. Okay. Oh, Steve. Look at that green. Look at that green. What do you think, Steve?
Well, I think he's French.
Oh, nothing gets by you.
Which is good. He probably has some sort of connection with Konate. They're probably about the same age.
That's there was a picture that was circling on social media of him and Konate hanging out on international duty. So you're right.
Good. So that helps. And Konate loves Liverpool.
He does.
So if
And
we
I love
want this
Konate.
guy, like this will happen. Like this seems like another one of those deals that could be very easy to do.
I'm trying to look at these similar players that we compare him to. Look at the names on this list, dude. Alex Iwobi and Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah, I think that's based on that's stats.
Yeah, it's statistically based, which is I think it's cool that they do that. They compare it. But
Javi's on there too though.
Yeah, but what is he, 18?
I mean, he's damn good. Regardless,
He's good, but
he starts like every match, I feel like, for them. Or a lot. He starts a lot.
Yeah, true. Okay. I just like the stats. I'm looking at the stats against all midfielders, which is pretty cool. Top 90 percentile in successful take-ons, progressive carries. In the top 80 percentile with expected assists. Pass completion 85%, a little bit lower for a midfielder.
He seems to me like a straight up center mid.
Yeah,
like
just
not
straight
defensive,
up box to box.
not much on the attacking front either, but will like just dribble and carry the ball up, kind of like Keita.
Yeah, he seems more similar to Keita than actually Kone.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of ironic because this guy, usually the taller midfielders, I mean, it really depends. It really just depends. I would say usually the taller midfielders you'd see play deeper in the pitch. This guy looks like he's playing more forward, more progressive.
Yeah.
I'm looking over at the names. Henrik Mkhitaryan, Dewsbury Hall, Alex Iwobi. Not exactly the names you want to see, but again, that doesn't say much.
No.
It really doesn't matter too much.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just an algorithm.
Yeah. I do like it, though. A lot of green. Big fan. What do you guys think? Let us know in the chat. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Make sure you're subscribed already. If you're not, LFC Aaron, what's going on? Javi's going to bring a trophy back to Espana. Hopefully he can get you guys with that. But Steve, with all these guys, all these names, okay, let's rate him as likely. We'll take MAc Allister out of it because we know MAc Allister is pretty much done. Kone versus Thuram. Who would you rather have? Who do you think's more likely? Do you think there's another player?
I want them both, and I think there's many more players. I wish I had a more specific answer for you, but I'll take them both.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I have one preference over the other because I just don't know enough about the two of them. But based on what we looked at today, based on their age, they appear to be Liverpool type signings from a pricing
Price
budget
point.
perspective
Yep.
and a positional perspective. It's what we need. So give me both and then some. The question mark is what's happening with Trent. Are we going to sign a right back?
Sure. Okay.
So, or another center back.
Well, those are some other names that were being linked with, like Pavard, for example.
Yep.
You know, that's more
Just saw
fullback
that.
signing. And that would be very interesting if Trent completely changed positions. Like, I don't think that will happen. I think he'll still on the team sheet line up as a right back and just be kind of a facilitator, rotate into the midfield, and we'll go with that back three. But you never know. I mean, he could just change to midfield altogether, and then we sign a new right back.
Yeah, I don't picture that happening either,
Me
but
neither.
it is possible. But then you got to think like they signed Calvin Ramsey for a reason.
They did.
So I think we'll see him in preseason, and I'm interested to see what happens with him because he would probably feel awful if he missed this season to injury for the most part,
Yeah,
and then we signed a right back,
absolutely.
basically
Yeah.
saying you're not good enough. He's like, but I just did all this at Aberdeen, 2 years ago, and I was battling injury, so I don't know.
Look, you can't plan for injuries. And these young kids who get injured, you got to move on. There's no room for sympathy in football. Like, if you get injured, tough luck. We're moving on. Like, if you're not available, we got to buy someone else. It's nothing personal. It's just like, look, bro, you're injured. What are we going to do? Just sit and wait? No. I mean, Liverpool have seemed like they do that in the past, but I mean, honestly. Khazri here says Pavard is not the right profile. Jules Koundé. Oh, there's another one we're being linked with. Jules Koundé and also Timber of Ajax. Other players that are like right center back type players. And I agree with that. That's a very good take. Shout out Kazir here. Very good take. Yeah.
It would be the perfect signing.
Tell me.
Like the perfect signing. If we get MAc Allister and one of these other guys, the perfect signing would be Kimmich.
You think?
Right
You think
back
he'd leave
and
Bayern?
center mid, experience, relatively healthy as far as I can tell, still has a few good years left in him. That's a perfect signing. If we sign two younger guys, MAc Allister and let's say one of these guys, the no-brainer signing is Kimmich.
So
Center
you
mid
think
and right back.
You think he'd leave Bayern?
No, I'm just saying that's the perfect signing. Like that signing makes so much sense. I don't know if he'd leave. This is just theoretically, speaking.
Agreed. Yeah, Kimmich would be a good signing. What do you think? You remember those links with Florian Neuhaus a while back?
Yeah.
Those died off real quick.
Yeah.
And we're not even being linked with him anymore. We're being linked with Kone, the other guy.
I don't know what's real. I mean, Fabrizio's talking some stuff, so that's real.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's legit. LFC Aaron here says, I think we'll eventually get found out playing Trent in this hybrid role. It puts too much strain on our defense. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe we change systems, but I'll tell you what, it gives us something way different going forward with Trent in that hybrid role. Takes a lot of the strain off the midfield to create and a lot of strain off those front guys coming deep to pick up the ball. I think Trent, you got to play Trent in that hybrid role now, unless you find someone who can do what Trent's doing right now. But I'll tell you what, Trent going back to that right back role where he's in a box, I don't think it works.
I don't think he needs to play in the hybrid role as often as he has recently. Like, I don't think we're going to struggle and be so desperate next year. So if we're up 2-3-0 in a game, which has been the case in years past, right? We've been destroying teams.
Yeah.
We don't need to do that. But this was like a last-ditch Hail Mary attempt, and it happened to work out. But there is no one that's going to be able to do what he did. Very rare that somebody has a laser attached to their right foot in the world. Not De Bruyne. De Bruyne can finesse it and curl it. He cannot ping like Trent.
Nope.
There is maybe 2 or 3 other players in the world that can take the ball off one step, turn, and put it 70 yards across to Robbo or something like that. So there's nobody that can do that.
Yep. Agreed 100%. Shout out to Kazir, new subscriber. Appreciate the support, my man. Trent's one of a kind. Okay. He gets a lot of stick for his defending, rightly so. He's not the best defender. You can just see it. He has his moments, but so does everyone else. Trent is a built midfielder. And the best part about him playing that hybrid role is you can just see the level of comfort that he had on the ball. He knew where everybody was. Like, it was almost just like, it's almost like you just took a player. It was a new player. He was in that midfield. He just felt so comfortable. He knew where everybody was. And I love that. And I don't think Klopp's going to let that go to waste. You got to utilize that position. And if that means going to a back three, so be it. Honestly, so be it. We'll just go to a back three. I think that'd be more beneficial for our defense anyway.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. It will be interesting.
We got some United fans in the chat. Congrats, by the way, to your season. Enjoy it.
Oh, they won a trophy.
Yeah.
They improved.
Yeah, they did improve. They definitely looked better under Ten Hag compared to Ole and all these other guys. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What else we got in here? Oh, yeah, everyone's just roasting United. I'm here for it. But, Steve.
You sound bitter, he says. What are they saying?
I'm
not trolling. You beat us 7-0, but we had a better season than you know. Yeah, you finished higher and you won a trophy. We didn't win a trophy. Yeah, of course you did.
Nothing gets by this.
You just don't match up well against us. We own you. Lately. Yeah, that's it.
Moment.
It's that simple.
Oh, did you also...
Better season for sure.
Speaking of Chelsea, Harry Maguire's being linked with Chelsea.
Oh, boy.
Dude.
I saw a meme the other day that Leicester fleeced United for 80 million for Maguire and built a state-of-the-art brand new training compound. Like yes. Not just a facility, like acreage of brand new state-of-the-art stuff from Maguire. So great bit of business.
Did. It's absolutely crazy.
I'm actually, speaking of United, I don't know what they're going to do because they're recent signings. I mean, Casemiro, sure, we knew what we were getting with him. But like Anthony, Sancho, what are they going to do? They've had some very poor signings recently. Big money signings, huge money signings.
I think the thing with United is that yes, they're big money signings, but they're not bad players. I just feel like they haven't produced since they got there. You know, like Sancho, Anthony, not bad players, just haven't produced, right? Rashford is great. He's really the only guy, and even Bruno Fernandes. I think Bruno Fernandes had an underwhelming season, but he's still great. Rashford was the only one who's like stepped up and has been consistent. You know what I mean? Like, I think they have all the talent necessary, but their players aren't stepping up. You know?
No, I don't think Sancho and Anthony are it.
I feel like it's too early to tell.
I've seen literally nothing from them. Not to mention Weghorst. I feel like he gets an appearance every game. The guy's got 2 goals all season.
Yeah.
That's his job. They need all due respect, they just need to sign players that are better at their job. That do a job, that aren't just popular.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I have noticed with United. They're not as bad as Chelsea in the sense that they're playing career mode, but they do buy like big names. Now, One thing I will say is that Ten Hag had that relationship with Antony. So that probably influenced the signing. But you look at Van de Beek. What the hell's going on with him?
I think he's gone, isn't he?
That's the thing. I don't know.
On loan?
It's a ghost. They signed him, and it's like they realized, oh damn, that was a mistake. But I'm looking ever since Ten Hag came in, Maguire's rightly so benched. You got Varane and was it Lindelof playing and Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, Basaka.
Well, I mean, we're gonna do a full season preview, and we'll chat about this all summer. I just feel like United goes and buys players that are popular.
Agreed.
Like, why is Antony and Jadon Sancho? Like, what are they doing?
Nada.
Darlington says Sancho and Antony are not elite players. They both play well in lesser leagues. Yes, and that's totally fine. But it's just the amount of money spent on these guys is what's crazy to me. What was Sancho? How much was he?
80, 90,
90? Something
100.
Absurd.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I couldn't even believe my eyes when I saw him on the lineup yesterday for a final.
I
couldn't believe my eyes. But I think it also just goes to show there isn't much depth there. But
all right,
unreal.
this guy's going to try to say what's Nunez done. Nunez has tripled the amount of goals Sancho or Antony has this season.
This guy's trolling. By the way, thanks for joining and watching. First and foremost,
14 goals, 4 assists. The fuck out of here.
Yeah. I don't have anything personal against you, but Nunez has more goals, I would argue, than Antony, Sancho, Weghorst,
combined.
Garnacho combined.
Yeah.
Everybody relatively new at United that you guys are excited about.
Sancho
combined.
got 5 goals. Congrats, buddy. He's been.
I didn't even know that.
Seasons?
Wow.
How many seasons?
This is a guess, by the way.
Huh? It's unbelievable.
Nunez had 4 in one game.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. No. What's Nunez done? Much better than everyone else.
I mean, he definitely needs to improve, but we're not blind to that.
Yeah.
Healthy debate here. We're not blind to that. We know he needs improvement.
Yeah. 15 goals, 4 assists, better than any of the players you've signed. Now,
combined.
Yeah, combined.
Don't forget that, please.
What I will say is that Nunez needs to get better at certain aspects of his game, mainly passing and ball retention, if he's going to stand any chance at beating Gakpo or Diaz in the starting lineup. Because Salah's going to start. And even Diogo Jota. All these guys are better on the ball than Nunez. I want to see Nunez come back next season and play with more maturity. I think it just comes down to maturity. That's all. But that's me. Whew, Steve. Love this. Love this debate. Love it. You all right?
We're not angry. We're not angry at all. We love having you in here. Thanks for joining. And I know it's not you that makes these signings. It's not your fault that the club is run poorly. Yeah. So don't take it personal.
Yeah.
But bringing up Nunez, which is just not a good idea.
Yeah, you're just digging your own grave.
You had a better season than us. Congratulations. There's no doubt. Nobody in here is denying that. I mean, there may be some people in the chat, but I'm certainly not. You got a trophy and you finished higher than us in the league. Congrats.
It was a healthy debate. I think once he just body bagged himself, bringing up Nunez. It's like,
yeah, no,
that poor choice. But
that's when he revealed himself as a troll.
Yeah,
and not somebody who's
having a chat.
Yeah, having a chat.
Man,
but that's okay.
Now, Steve, I think it's a healthy debate. Looking forward to Kone and Thuram, seeing how those turn out. MAc Allister will be a Liverpool player over the next week or two. I'm pretty convinced of that. Or when July 1, or when does the domestic transfer window open? What is it, June 14th or something?
I don't have a clue.
Yeah, no, it's all different. It's all different. The international versus the domestic, they're different timelines. But whenever it can be official, MAc Allister will be announced. So I'm excited for that. Keep an eye out on the channel for, of course, more news surrounding Kone and Thuram and any other players we're linked with. I know Pavard has come out. Kimmich, not as solid links as Kone and Thuram and MAc Allister, but definitely keep an eye out for that. Subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified and like the stream. Steve, do you have any closing thoughts, my man?
No, I'm ready for some signings. I'm ready to see what happens. I'm ready for some movement in the club, in the lineups. So it's also nice to get a break.
It is, isn't it?
Preseason's going to come fast, but also not that important. A lot of games we've watched the last couple of years. It's a big time commitment. I'm ready to chill.
We've played for 10 months. Dude, last year was insane, the amount of games we had. Absolutely insane. I'm ready for it. Give me a break. My knees need a break. You know what I'm saying? These jumping headers in the living room.
Oh, jeez.
Diving headers. Hurting. Yeah. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Shout out to all the new people in the chat. Much appreciated. Love the healthy debate. Love other viewpoints on the channel. So, of course, you're welcome back anytime. Until next time, Reds. Take care.